Let me paint you a picture. You're a woman in the 1800s. You cry at your mother's funeral. Hysteria. You disagree with your husband. Hysteria. You have opinions. Most definitely hysteria. And with one signature from the man in your home, you disappear. No trial, no lawyer, no goodbye. Just gone. I'm Christi Chanelle, and this is Sassy Politics. Let's fast forward to today. When I hear the term Trump Derangement Syndrome just being thrown around like it means nothing, or when I hear a woman being called deranged for reacting or opposing the administration, I hear a clear pattern. I see a clear pattern. I hear the same tactic that's been used on women for centuries. Label her, discredit her, silence her. Because once you understand what women have actually been put through, that word, deranged, it's strategic. And I most definitely hear an echo. Today, we're connecting those dots. From women who were locked away for feeling too much, to Rosemary Kennedy, to what's playing out right now. And my hope is by the end of this, you will see a pattern too, if you haven't already. Hysteria wasn't a real illness. The word comes from a Greek word for uterus. And doctors, all of them men, believed a woman's uterus could wander through her body and cause emotional instability. And that was considered science. And you know what those symptoms are? I'm sure you can guess. Anxiety, irritability, sexual feelings, talking back, refusing your husband. In other words, being a fucking human. You know, the saddest part of this whole thing is a husband, a father, or a brother could have you committed. No trial, no appeal, just a signature. That was all it took. You were gone. And I know you already see it, but I have to say it anyway. Those institutions weren't built to heal women. They were built to control access to women. Now, just imagine if you were completely sane. The only thing you did was say, no, I don't want to have sex to your husband. Or get in a fight with your brother, because that never happens. And you wake up inside an asylum. That happened a lot. And once you were inside, you had to have ice baths, isolation, restraints, early electric shock, and you weren't dangerous. You didn't commit a crime. You were just inconvenient. You had opinions, you had needs, you had autonomy. And that made the men around you uncomfortable. So they labeled it an illness. They called it treatment. It wasn't care. They just wanted to control you. As you know, this wasn't just in the 1800s, clearly. This actually made it all the way into one of the most powerful families in America, Rosemary Kennedy. She wasn't dangerous, she wasn't violent, she had mild intellectual disabilities from birth and struggled in school. But as she got older, she became a lot more independent. She wanted a social life. She had her mood swings, and she pushed back. And according to her family, that made her difficult to manage. There were also some concerns that she might become sexually active. And in a powerful, image-obsessed family, that was seen as a risk. So her father made a decision. Of course, it was without her consent. He approved a lobotomy. Now, I'm going to explain what that actually is. It's a procedure where doctors go into the brain and sever connections in the frontal lobe, the part responsible for your personality, your decision-making, and your emotions. So in plain terms, they were trying to change who she was. And when all of that was over, she couldn't speak properly. She couldn't care for herself. She was institutionalized for the rest of her life. She never got better. She just got quieter, and she was erased. Now that we've talked about the absolutely horrific history women have had so far, let's talk about a timeline, because people love to act like this was ancient. This was forever ago. It wasn't. In 1920, women gained the right to vote. Oh, look at that. We get an opinion. In 1974, women could open a bank account without a man, which is crazy because I was born the year before that. I was 1 year old. Let that sit for a second. When I was born, I would not have been allowed to have my own bank account without a man being on the account. In 1993, marital rape became illegal in all 50 states. I was 20, which means before that, I could have been in a situation and not have been protected by the law. That's my freaking timeline. That is your timeline. That is your mother's timeline. These rights were not given to us. Women fought for them. They were arrested. They were force-fed in prison. They died for this. They died for you. So when people act like progress is a permanent thing, I got news for you. It's fucking not. Being called a feminist is a compliment because you know who created the stigma around it, right? If you follow me, you know that. It wasn't a woman. Anything that had to be fought for like that can be taken away. And we're watching it happen in real time, right in front of us. So let's talk about right now in front of us. Project 2025. It's real. It's a detailed plan to restructure the federal government and consolidate power. And no, it doesn't say control women right there in bold print. It never freaking does. It says things like family values, tradition, return to greatness. But history teaches us they don't always tell you what they're going to do. They show you very, very, very clearly. So when I hear "Make America Great Again," I've got a question. Great for who? How far back are we going? And who benefited the last time we were there? And if you think this is all the past, go ask a woman about her last doctor's appointment. Women's pain is still dismissed, still minimized, still labeled anxiety. Conditions like endometriosis take years to diagnose. Menopause, something half the population experiences, is still under-researched. And I want to circle back to that word, deranged, because this part really truly does matter. When people throw around a term like Trump Derangement Syndrome, they're not diagnosing anything. There is no recognized medical condition called TDS, but language like that does something very, very specific. It takes a reaction and tries to frame it as instability. And when you've studied history, that should make you pause and feel very uncomfortable, because women have been labeled unstable for centuries. This is all a way to dismiss them. Mental health support is real. Medication helps people. Therapy helps people. If you've ever needed help, this is not a weakness. That is a strength. But I do worry about how easily language gets used to blur the line between someone needing support and someone being dismissed. History has shown us, once you start labeling people, it doesn't always stop at the label. So no, we're not going backwards. We know too much now. We know the history, we know the pattern, we know the playbook. So the truth is, they've always been afraid of us. We are powerful. Women are powerful. We carry everything. We hold families together, we adapt, we process, we keep going. We feel deeply and think clearly. You know that's not a weakness. That's a superpower. And that power has always been a threat on systems built on control. That's why they needed the signatures. That's why they needed the lobotomies. That's why they still need the labels. Because if you can make us seem crazy, you never have to answer to us. But now's different. It's all different. we do know. And we're not going backwards. Not to the silence, not to the control, not to some version of great. It was never meant for us. So the next time someone calls you hysterical or deranged, remember this. They've been calling powerful women that for centuries. And we're still here. Still loud, still thinking, still standing. And we're not fucking going anywhere. So if anyone says being a feminist is wrong, poke them in the eye. See you next Tuesday.